Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure that we have opportunity to talk a little bit more about the Poland because we are neighbors. We are very, very close and not necessarily know about each other, that we can make quite good connections and why to make these good connections. So just quick introduction about the Poland, because before we joined, before we sat here, we discussed that you potentially have seen information about the Poland in the Economist, in many sources, and that the market is growing, that the fintech sector in Poland is growing. So you can imagine that in Poland it's over 300 fintechs that serve services around Europe, and not necessarily only Europe. So today I have really good guests that I would like to discuss a little bit more. They are representing multiple and very different areas of the market, from capital market to payment market, a little bit to software house that is supporting the market to develop. And starting that and talking about the whole ecosystem, why Poland, and how we can, what potentially we can do together. First question will be to Mateusz, because we all talk that data is new something, that data is the new oil, and your company is focusing mostly on data from banking sector for processing this data for the client. And do you see it as a most valuable asset right now, the data that you gather from the financial sector?
Hi, everyone. My name is Mateusz Kwiatkowski from Transparent Data. And yes, data is very important. But to be honest, Poland is rich in data because we have many database where that I mentioned. We are rich in data because in Poland, open data, we have, for example, all trade registry, many data from court systems, and we believe that not more data help us running business, but matching endpoints from different databases to one business process, to one application, because our customers need information, for example, from 3 or 4 databases from our government, and they need only for one endpoint from this information to create application to support business, to make decision. So at the moment, it's not automatically collect. If you collect more data, you have better decision. No, you need exactly these data that you need to provide your application, your business process. And of course, at the moment, I think in every country in Europe, we're talking about AI. So first, perfect data, and then we can add this data to our AI systems.
Because everybody previously were talking, no, we need more data. We need more data about the clients. And right now you're telling something opposite totally.
Yeah,
this is strange that potentially for the audience. And, even it's hard to tell them how we can use this data and what data could be the biggest advantage for us.
The biggest advantage is makes all information about, it's example about Poland, but I think that we start talking about other registries, other databases in other countries in our region. So, for example, in one database, we have financial information. In second, we have, for example, debt information. And in third database, we have, for example, sanction list. And in the fourth, we have UBOs, so beneficial owners. So when we need to make decision according to AML law in Poland, we need only 2 information from first database and for 1 information from the other database. So if I have many data, for example, in my model, AI model, I have some issues. Every time we have issues with when we have more data. So to be honest, I think that we need only this data that we need to make decision. So
the less data is sometimes better than having too much.
yes.
Okay, and because we are saying about the data, so we need to have systems to gather the data, to manage this, process this data, and to better understand. Because you know that having is one thing, but knowing what's inside and making the use of this data is second thing. And that will be potentially the question for Sławomir Paćko from Neti, because financial institutions in most situations are seen as old, boring, and that's all. They are in many situations, but they're under constant pressure to modernize, to give new solutions, new tool, implement something new. And from your perspective, what are the biggest technology challenges facing the banks and fintechs right now in that?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here. I think that word AI was repeated today probably 20 or more times, even if it's not an AI conference. It has huge impact on everything, what's going on in the market. So I would say, of course, AI, but in two aspects. One of them is positive and one is negative. Positive because we can analyze data, as Mateusz said, take decisions based on more precise information, which AI helps us to analyze, helps us get. On the other hand, from the tech perspective, 70% of the code on the GitHub nowadays is produced by AI. This means something. This means that probably nobody verifies that code on the level we expect. There are no new ways to poison code through the various libraries, which appears so quickly because they are built with AI. But intention behind building those libraries are not known for everyone or not clear by the authors. Several months ago, there was a huge leak of source code on GitHub. It's also a consequence of the AI. So I see this as two opportunities. On the one hand, super positive. We can do amazing things with AI nowadays, which weren't possible 2 years ago. On the other hand, the bad guys also can do amazing things doing bad things. So this is the first thing. And second, which is strongly related with our experiences on-chain finance, it's a new shift, which I believe especially Europe have to catch up comparing to Asia or comparing to US. Almost everywhere on the world, companies are before us in building on-chain solutions. Artur said in previous panel that it gives us speed, it gives a lack of intermediaries. That's true. It gives also another advantages like volume of transactions. Unfortunately, we are not ready to build based on that because we don't understand that. So the challenge here is not purely tech, but combining tech with our existing rails we already use.
And you see that, for example, banks in Poland are quite modern because they had to, starting from the 90s, and for many, many years, we were saying, oh, it's good because we have the new technology. And right now, in the time of AI, scams, of creating even, I don't know, identity using AI tools, do you think that the technology, that it's good that we have so modern banking sector, or right now it could be potentially harmful? What's from that perspective, that we might not be ready for what's coming?
I think nobody is ready for what's coming. It's not possible to predict what will be on the market in half of year. A few weeks ago, we get information about new model from one of the companies, and it promised that it's able to find leaks almost in every software. So telling what can harm us in the future is absolutely impossible. Kind of stability here gives us digital assets and on-chain finance. It's completely opposite comparing to way how it behaves comparing to AI. Why? Because AI from the nature is non-predictable, is not fully predictable. On-chain finance is not only fully predictable, but also constant. If you write something to the tech like blockchain, it cannot be changed in the future.
Yeah.
So that gives us a feeling that we may feel a bit safer using that technology. So that's additional benefit.
So from the perspective of cybersecurity, it's not the question if you had a problem, but when you will have the potential problem with the security is something that what you said.
Yeah, I agree with that sentence. To be more precise, there is no company who can say your software is safe. The only thing that company can say is, I haven't found any leaks or mistakes or security vulnerabilities in your software. This is if someone will say, your software is 100% sure, sorry, but I don't buy it. Simply, it's not possible because 3 months later, it may appear you weren't.
Yeah. Okay, and because the time is running, and unfortunately, we are talking about the topics that are very interesting for many reasons. And Cezary, for you question, because this is quite natural. How fintechs and financial institutions in the time that we have right now could better prepare maybe for fraudsters, maybe the risk that arise from, I don't know, AI that's already we know, for example, I don't know, creating the fake identity. You think that it's a problem, and we are able even to make it something good to be prepared?
Cezary Kosiński from company EFT Lab. Let me say, EFT Lab provides highly specialized payment switches, secure, efficient, connecting all payment terminals, ATMs to Visa, MasterCard. This is the middle. This is the critical part. I am also coming from Poland. I remember the time of my middle school when we, in the mid of 80s, were sitting with colleagues and dreaming if we should go to Germany, maybe to US, maybe to Canada, maybe to South Africa, some destinations causing dreams how to escape from this communistic hell. Today, I see Poland, which is a very modern country, very digitally oriented country, where we have digital version of ID. Using the digital channel, I can apply for my prescription to my doctor, for any forms with the official offices, whatever, tax offices, other offices. So I would say I'm recognizing Poland is extremely modern country, and it took us 40 years. And I want to say this is possible. Yeah. So what is the reason? I think we activated people end of 80s, beginning of 90s. It was a huge activation, release of emotion, release of energy, and the momentum lasts. And based on that, people in Poland are extremely creative. New challenges you are asking here. There are new challenges. Let me say one example only. Agentic payment. When there is a human, when there is an agent, when there are some LLM models making a decision, And the situation when I ask my agent, can you please buy a blue bike MTB size 42 and send it to my daughter for this and this address, deliver on 22nd June because it is the birthday of my daughter. And I'm getting confirmation, and on the 22nd, my daughter is calling me, Dad, you promised to send me MTB bike, but I got MTB blue Nike size 42. Okay, this is the example how it could work, On one side, simplification. On the other side, some misunderstanding. What I want to say, agent recognized my intent, and agent verified my identity and my intent to buy something. This is the area where the new fraud schemes will come, and fraudsters will come and will try to act and cheat the payment system, the delivery system, the whole e-commerce system. Then we have new places where the new fraud schemes will come on LLMs, for example, or agents as well. On LLMs, we can create the system of poisoning the data and training the LLM in the way which is supporting us, not our competitor on the business level. So I want to say that this digitalization is coming. We cannot even imagine how much it will change our life. But I want to say that the mindset of people, be open, be ready, be prepared, and cooperation of institutions should be the base for that. Of course, there is a technology, tokenization, there is static encryption, there is a dynamic verification of the behavior schemes and stuff like that. All those methods must be implemented. But openness of people and institutions prepared with the law, with the cooperation, with the exchanging sensitive information, this is what I see as critical for success.
And what is important in Poland, people are very open for the new solutions, for something what might, I don't know, cut the time that you are consuming for certain action. This is good part. And it's good that even institutions, even if they are not implementing something from day one, they are trying at least to think how they can use new solutions. This is, at least from my perspective, very good perspective for fintech development.
If we look at the last 10 years, I mean, the COVID period changed a lot. Yeah, before 2020, everybody were saying, oh, it's not possible to do things remotely in digital way.
Yeah.
After 2021, we can do everything.
Exactly, online. And
so there was a certain trigger, unexpected trigger, which caused acceleration. And we are not capable to say that we can predict such triggers on one side, and another, we should not try to arrange such triggers intentionally, but work and believe it will happen.
Exactly. It won't be able even to think about the triggers that would need to be put in place to make these changes that we had during the COVID and a little bit before.
In Poland, I think when I listen to my colleagues to media, I think we don't understand how big we achieved by cooperation and by synchronization of our actions, of our effort. And we think we are individuals and we are opening the startups and stuff like that. But in fact, it's a lot of cooperation. And I personally find the route 35 years ago or 40 years ago, end of 80s, beginning of 90s, with some political changes, with Wilczek Act of freedom in economical activity. That was the base.
Yeah, and right now it's good that even if somebody wants to make the innovation, financial institutions are open to test, to even speak about this new project. And we have the support even of Polish Financial Supervision Authority, where I worked for many years. That if you have any problems, you can ask whether it's compliant or not. So at least we have some initial help for implementing that.
Officially, many people claim that this supervision committee is extremely conservative. But in fact, when you look at that, they are not so conservative.
Exactly.
They are opening doors for good initiatives, balancing properly the risk and the chances and the value.
Exactly. So it's possible to make this quite easy. Yeah. the organizers are showing me that the time is running, so sorry for that. So the last question to every one of you would be, why it's good to come to Poland to make the business? So maybe starting from Sławomir, and we'll go to the last question.
Very good question. I think, first of all, we are a pretty big country in the Europe map. We are still open for new things. If you take into account, for instance, BLIK, which was one of the first types of payments, not only in Europe, but honestly on the world, it happened in Poland. It started in Poland. They evolved to other countries, including Romania, as I know now. So you can build new things. Still, yes, we are conservative in many aspects, but on the other hand, we do not block real alternatives, real initiatives. That's first of all. Second, the organizations like, Fintech Poland, which greatly support development of businesses, bring a huge impact. That's my opinion, personal, but I don't think it's only my opinion. Related to how fast you can verify your thesis, how fast you can evaluate your idea, your product, whatever you have. You have people who will drive you if your idea, if your product is responding to some pain on the market or not.
So first, I think Sławek mentioned about Fintech Poland. So yes, it's a good point, because people from Fintech and companies from Fintech Poland build perfect ecosystem. So they support us, we support them. So it's first point. Second, I think in Poland we are very open. Very open. We are open to work with people from other countries, with other perspective, and I think it's a good way to build together our region, see better, faster, and I think it's, for me personally, it's a big advantage when we start cooperate with all countries from our region. We can be better than Western Europe.
Especially we are modern countries,
Of course.
and we don't have this legacy that they have, so which might be a problem with development of something new.
Yes, but few words. So in our region, we haven't technology legacy. So we start from the scratch at the moment. So it's a little bit different.
Is that it?
I think if you consider to target Poland as a first market, it could be the mistake, openly speaking, because Poland is extremely competitive market with the very low margin, and start business or start selling on Polish market is not easy. There are other markets. If you consider to establish a business, yes, this is fantastic place with good regulatory, with good atmosphere, with good people, and you can enjoy the synergy from that. For next 5 years, maybe 10 years, that should be still valid. So synergy, emotion, positive attitude, good support from the government, and think global, expanding, not only selling in Poland.
Thank you. So we have everything. We have people, we have sources, and we have open position for collaboration. So great to hear. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope that you enjoyed today. So once again, thank you very much.